welcome back to my channel. Today in this video, I'll be going through my reading journal updates and setting up my reading journal for spring reads. If you're new to this channel, my name is Iman. I make journaling and stationery related videos. You can see a bunch of videos on my channel related to that, and if that's something you're interested in, then subscribe for more. So I kind of filmed it chaotically where I'm kind of jumping from different pages. So first I decided to set up my Q2 pages, and instead of calling it Q2, I'm going to call this my spring reading pages. Since I already did a floral theme for the beginning of the year and for Q1, I wanted to switch it up and do something else. And since I had this washi tape from the washi tape shop that's adventure and camping themed, I thought that would be a fun theme for the season, and it's something I haven't done before, so that was fun. And for this theme, I leaned into the oranges and then purples and some green in here to bring it all together. I also like these because some of these are bigger stickers, so it can fill up space, and because this is a traveler's journal size, it's not as large as my A5, so it can really take up a lot of space without having to put so much into it. I'm actually really liking the traveler size, which I'm surprised by, because I always thought like it would feel too small, but I actually think it's a pretty decent size that I'm considering maybe going with this size moving forward. And so I decorated with different washies from EB and the washi tape shop and occasional motto here. I switched it up instead of saying Q2 reading because it felt too formal and too businessy. At first I didn't really want to go with the seasons because that wasn't really accurate. Like, I don't really curate my reading based on the season, maybe a little bit in the fall, but that's about it. But it still sounded better than saying Q2 or something else. I can't think. And since I am doing this at a quarterly cadence, even though I'm not using the term quarters anymore, seasons made the most sense to me. And so that was the cover page, and then next up I'm working on my spring reading stats page. There really won't be stats to put yet since I just started this at the beginning of the new quarter. And you'll see that I also pre-cut some of my stickers and had them saved on up sticker sheets because this washi tape is not pre-cut, and I was trying to save myself some time, and it actually did help me for the first couple pages, but I of course ran out of those initial ones and needed to go back to the main washi tape and take out things. So that is a stats page, and then when I come back to update my journal for the summer, we'll go ahead and fill those in. So now I'm moving back to my Q1 reading pages and creating this spread for one of the books that I read in Q1, which was Project Hail Mary. No surprise, I'm really glad I managed to finish it before I watched the movie. I think the book was really good, and I agree that the audiobook is worth listening to. Potentially over the book, I'm not sure. I only did the audiobook because I heard it was supposed to be really good, and at first I was kind of like, why? And then once you get into the story, you'll see like the value of having that audio narration. So I used these space themed washi tapes that I have used before. I use them in my work bullet journal setup because I was really in this like spacey phase between reading Project Hail Mary and the whole Artemis 2 launch that happened here in the US with NASA. So I don't know, it was just perfect timing because I was literally reading Hail Mary while that was happening. So that was pretty cool. And it was an excuse to use this notebook therapy lunar mystery set that I really love and I keep wanting to use. So I had this notebook, I think from Journal Say or Stationery Pal. I think Journal Say, one of them. And I wasn't really sure what I was going to use them for, but then I thought it'd be fun to create kind of like these book cards. They're kind of like library cards, like the kinds that you stamp to check in and out your book. And so I thought I would use that to put in the book cover, the genre, when I read it, and my star rating. I had to go back to the other pages just to see what I did with the format. You'll see the little cards look different because this notepad has a few different designs and I finished the first design. I used a lot of them last year, so that is why. And you'll see that I already created the spreads for the first 2 books just because I decided to do this off camera because I wasn't really sure how I wanted to do it. So I just wanted to see for myself what it was like creating some of the pages. So those are kind of my test run, and that's why they look, I think, a little more rough. Then I brought out my sticker book to look for my star stickers that I printed at the beginning of the year, and since I still have a bunch to use up, I didn't have to reprint anything. And of course, they were in the one sleeve that was not in my notebook. And if things look a little blurry in these next couple clips, I filmed in the wrong mode. I think I filmed in cinematic mode, so it wasn't always focusing at the right thing, and I didn't realize that until a couple videos later. So I decided to create a double spread for Project Hail Mary because it was a book I really enjoyed, and I knew I was going to use up some of my bigger scraps here for space stuff since I knew I still had things I wanted to use. So I gave it 2 pages, and I don't think I'm really going to go into like reviews or summaries into books in these videos, but essentially Project Hail Mary is about the sun is in danger and the world needs to figure out how to save the sun so they can save all of planet Earth. I did end up giving it 5 stars because I really love the book. I love the connections between the characters and you feel like it's like a real person. I will say though that I did find out that Ryan Gosling was cast in the movie before I read the book, so fortunately or unfortunately, I kept picturing him while I was reading the book, which I think actually works out. Like, I think he played the character well, and I could see why he was chosen. But yeah, this is a 5-star for me, which, like, I feel like I'm pretty strict in giving 5 stars just because a lot of the books I read, they're fun, but they're not always, like, things that I'm still thinking about a few days later, or characters that I really come to enjoy. Or like there's something tropey about a lot of the romance novels that I read, which is fun and which is why I love them, but I feel like it kind of takes away the kind of uniqueness of the book, if that makes sense. Like they kind of do rely on this like formula and these different tropes, so it all comes kind of like formulaic at some point. I mean, stories are kind of formulaic at some point just in the way that they are designed, but I hope that kind of makes sense. And so once that spread was done for Hail Mary, I went back to my books I read in 2026 and added in the cover for my 4th book that I read. So this book, it will actually count toward my spring reads since I finished it in April. And you can see that I've been checking out Ashley Poston's books, and since they don't really have long holds, I've been getting them kind of back to back, so that's been nice. So I just finished Sounds Like Love in April. I did read a lot of it in Q1, but I finished it in Q2, so it'll be part of the spring reads collection. Now I'm going in and adding my star ratings for each of the books. I'm doing an alternating color for the stars. I'm starting out with like that brownish mustardish color and then going in with blue, which matches the initial washi tapes that I used when setting up this journal for 2026. Next up is my book bingo, and I could finally fill in a few of the squares. I will say this first square time slip I totally did put in because I knew I was halfway through the 7-year slip, but still, that's fine. I don't know if I'll hit bingo still, and then I'm filling this in with a blue marker. So time slip was Hail Mary. Time slip was 7-year slip. Become a movie or show was Hail Mary. Celebrity had Sounds Like Love, and an author new to me, I think, was the B.K. Borison book, which I actually really enjoyed. Like, that was really cute. So now that that's filled in, we're going back to the books I read in Q1 page. And this will kind of be like a little overview page before the individual book spreads, and this will also include some of my Q1 stats also. So I brought back the navy and mustard flowers tape that I used in the beginning of the setup and for Q1 reading just to keep it consistent. I really wasn't sure how I wanted to decorate this page, so I just put the tape across the bottom and the top, and it filled a nice amount of space, but I don't know if I necessarily like how this looked, but that's okay. And since I had printed off some of the headers in advance at the beginning of the year, I already had these like reading Q1 headers. I've just been printing these on label paper that I've had around the house, and they work really well because it's really easy to find templates for them, and I can fit everything in when I set it up in Photoshop or any myriad of tools that you can use. And that's also how I printed out my star stickers too. So I wanted to reference one of my old spreads to see how I did my quarterly stats, just for a little bit of consistency, even though I've compiled all of my reading stats since I started keeping track of it in my bullet journal into this notebook. Just kind of wanted that continuity still. So the things I included were books read, the average rating, and pages read, as well as genre, which I'll be creating a little pie chart to visualize that. I don't really keep track of whether I read books by audiobook or not. I think I did write it on the little book card, but it's not really something that I'm tracking. Then I wanted to give a little color code so I would know which color represented which genre, and pretty predictably 66% is romance because there's only 3 books on this page, and 33% is science fiction. I think I could have put more stats here, and I do primarily track everything through story graphs, so I'm referencing that like on my iPad while I'm filling this in. But I was kind of unsure what I wanted to include, so this page looks a little bare, but I think for spring or for Q2, I'll have something a little better. And so here's a quick look at my spreads for the first 2 books that I read in Q1, and then Hail Mary. And then flipping forward again to set up a spread for Sounds Like Love. Since this book I did finish in Q2, so it'll count towards my spring reading, and this is the 4th book I read this year. And since I hadn't set it up off camera, I thought it'd be nice to put together this spread with you guys in the video. So Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston is about a songwriter who's hit writer's block, and she meets a musician who's also kind of lost his way as well, but they have this like connection even though they don't necessarily get along in the beginning, and you kind of see their relationship like flourish and kind of find their like purpose or their passion in their respective careers. And it was interesting. I do feel like the connection piece was a little hokey, but it's a romance novel, so what do you expect? And I feel like Ashley Poston's thing is kind of some like magical realism type of stuff, because the 7-year slip also utilizes that literary device, so maybe that's like kind of her thing, which is fine. I enjoy that. And while sometimes the relationship part I felt like got a little repetitive, I hate when the characters just keep going back and forth and they aren't really communicating. It always feels like a cheap way to have conflict, honestly. But there are other things that I liked about this book, like she's dealing with her mom having dementia, as well as like figuring out, even though she is successful in her career, is this something she really wants, or is there something else that she wants to do? And as someone in their mid-30s and is kind of reflecting on where they are in their career and what they want to do moving forward, that felt very timely and relatable to me. So that's actually one big piece of why I really like this book. And then I'll go ahead and fill in my thoughts. Afterwards, I didn't end up doing it on camera because I was in a time crunch as usual, because I don't project manage my video schedule well and needed to film this. But hopefully in the next one, in my spring recap, I'll do some of the reviews on camera as well. And so that's pretty much it. I'll flip through the pages. I think it is actually realistic to only have read a few books in the quarter, especially if, you know, you're working, you're doing other things, you don't always have time to sit down and read books all day, which I would love to do. Also, I am very much a mood reader, so sometimes I'm just not in the mood for it, or I'm not really sure which book I want to read next. And some months were busier than others, like my March was actually pretty busy offline, so I didn't have that much time. But anyway, if this was something that you liked, let me know in the comments what you think, what you're doing with your reading journal. If you would start one, what would you do differently? And be sure to subscribe, as I'll continue posting reading journal updates quarterly along with all my other journal stuff in between. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!